and welcome back to Two Targets Talk with your host, Janice White, and myself, Robin Barnett. And today's episode number 19, but I don't want to forget a little tagline, no silence, no shame, because I'll hear from Janice later. No silence, no shame. And today's episode is number 19, what were we thinking? But it's the what were we thinking episode. What was I thinking? So our last episode, I expressed I had met someone that I fall in love with this man. And we were great on one day, a Sunday. And then that following Friday, we weren't. He decided he wanted to be a boyfriend, all kinds of craziness. So I was heartbroken, and we started talking about moving forward and what we're thinking, and the thoughts that you have, like it's the end of the world, is kind of encompasses everything, just trauma in general, workplace abuse, when we're in our jobs, right, Janice? And so that's why we're here.
Yeah. So this is why I'm convinced that we will have this show until we are 105 years old, or until we've taken our last breath, because there is so much that we learn from each other every single week. So last week you experienced your heartbreak, and I also read the article, right? Which was by, and I love her, I hope I'm saying her name right, Rania Naim, which I first read her article, and some of you might have seen me post it, the It's Okay to Leave. Well, last week she posted the, when you were once so sure of something, now what am I thinking, right? And so as we're talking last week as friends, we're like, this is our show for next week, because there is so much correlation between heartache and trauma and what we can do in those moments to move us forward, which is so fitting for today's episode and why it's happening.
And also it kind of relates a little bit to the last episode, because there's so much more life. You did the whole math last time.
Yes.
And so the purpose is to go through the trauma and to know that there is so much more life to live. I personally believe that the universe is always pushing us towards our purpose. And we may, like, I saw a lot of red flags, but I ignored them. It's like you ignore the gaslighting at your workplace, or people being mean to you. You're like, oh, did I really see that? Oh, they must have forgot to put me on the meeting, right? So it's all relates. But the bottom line is there's so much life to live, and there's so much to look forward to. And the universe is always pushing you towards your purpose. I like to tell Janice, I love this woman, first of all, but like, I would have never met her if I didn't go through workplace abuse. So I would go through it 10 times again. But at the time, I thought my life was over. What about you, Janice?
Right. So where we wanted to take the next part of this is we want to talk about when you're in the stages of whether it's heartbreak or whether it's trauma, right? What are you thinking in those moments, and how can we challenge them? Because hindsight is always 20/20. And, but you know what, that's also a beautiful thing, because that's when you get to see clearly. And for the rest of whatever else we might experience in life, that's where we can draw from. So Robin, for last week, we're going to talk about yours first, and then we're going to talk about mine in the workplace, right? So What were you thinking last week when you were feeling so sad and down, that you thought might never change? What were some of your thoughts? List 3 of them for us, and then I'm going to list my 3.
Okay, I was thinking, which goes for both last week and workplace abuse, how long will I feel this pain? Not only emotional, but actual I was feeling physical pain. I was also thinking, was this all like made up? What was I thinking? And then of course, both the workplace and this relationship, why will I ever meet someone again that I felt like I had such a strong connection with?
Right. Okay. So when I look back to what I was thinking, which when you hit the what was I thinking stage, this is a real stage of, like, some people like the term closure, some people don't. I actually love it because whether you're working towards it forever or not, if you can wrap your mind around what closure means for you, I feel like it's a huge like milestone in getting past something, even though you might still struggle with things, which listen, life is a continuum of struggle and learning and moving forward. So that piece does not scare me anymore. But a few of my things was like the airline industry, right? Which is where I was for 16 years. Looking back, when I was in my trauma, it is the only thing that I thought was that I was meant for. Okay. So now looking back, I can say, listen, what the heck was I thinking? There's so much more to who I am and what I have to offer and so many other interests that I have that I thought that was my only life course. Now that I'm out of the trauma, I can say, what was I thinking? The second thing is I will never feel good again. I can tell you, I was completely convinced that I would feel depressed, lonely, isolated, and unlike myself. The reality at that time was that I felt like that forever. Now that I've come out of it and I can see, listen, that's just a symptom of the trauma. You can absolutely feel good again. You can, all of these things that I was afraid of can come to pass. So I feel like that's important, right? And the third thing, just quickly, is I really did believe that I would never see people or the world as good again, right? That everything was scary. Everybody was evil. And then I think back to meeting you and Deb and all these beautiful people and just the regular people in my life that are beautiful, good people. And when I traveled to Italy a year and a half ago, pre-COVID, realizing that the world was beautiful and not ugly. It was just another like, okay, these are things that you're feeling in the moment because you're heartbroken or you're experiencing trauma, but you are going to look back and think, what the freak was I thinking that all of this stuff was over when it was really just in the midst of our struggle.
Exactly. I love everything you said. I think when I look back at the workplace abuse, I too was like, will I ever feel good again? My whole thing was like, will I ever laugh again? In the middle of it, will I ever laugh again? And then I actually remember one day someone said something and I laughed and I'm like, wow. And I really, really believe that the universe is on purpose, that I have no regrets. I had a wonderful time. I think the person's a wonderful person. Yeah, I'm still grieving. I'm sad because I thought we had such a connection, but the universe is on purpose. And I feel stronger than I did during workplace abuse. And I feel stronger today than I did a week ago. And I'm so grateful for your friendship. So I would go through bullying. Thank you, bullies. Thank you. Thank you, bullies.
Right. And thank you, heartbreak, right? For this guy, like, thank you, because there are going to be things and lessons learned that are going to come from this. That's going to be, progressing you forward. Wait till you say, what was I thinking that I was devastated over this guy?
First of all, that I felt heartbreak. I think that's wonderful to feel that feeling again. I was like, at first you're like, damn, this hurts. I ate Lucky Charms and listened to Papa Roach because that's what I do.
Yeah, you sent me those photos.
Yeah. But I'm grateful for the experience now. And I wish I'd come to this conclusion faster during workplace abuse like you do, but you don't see it through the woods. But here we are. What the were we thinking?
That's right. Listen, your life is going to be beautiful. It's going to be filled with purpose. You're going to laugh again. You're going to feel good again. All of it's coming. And we can assure you of that. You are definitely going to look back and say, what the F were you thinking?
I love you, girl. I think we should end it there because,
Yeah, we've shared a lot.
We have shared a lot.
Did you notice my pin? Listen, I want just a couple things before we go. So this is my Dignity at Work Act. Please help us pass. I'm going to put at the bottom the website you can go to if you want to see a difference with passing a workplace bullying law. And also don't forget, listen, Robin and I, and of course, Deb Felzoy are going to be doing a retreat in November. And if you want to come, and be connected again and be with people that get it, this is your opportunity. So I'll put all the information at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. We are your tribe. Target's rock.
That's it.
Anyway, have a beautiful week. Love you. Bye.
Love you.